How's everyone? What a crack of a stage today in the Tour de France today, stage 5, the cobbled stage. We all knew it was going to be a little bit special, but nobody would have pictured how special that would have been. What a finish to the race. Simon Clark bringing it home for Israel Premier Tech for my team. That's super good for the team, super stoked to see him win, and I think the whole team is rejoicing. You know, we've had the story about the points and all that nonsense, but focusing on bike racing has been the most important part this July, and the team came with ambitions to try win the race, to try win a stage in the Tour de France. Box ticked. So I think everybody's going to be rejoicing. Everyone's going to be super happy. I was super excited watching it, just seeing it all unfold. The whole day was, you know, it's always a risk to go up the road. All 5 of those guys did an amazing ride, and think to take the bull by the horns, to go for it, to actually take the race head on. And, you know, we saw the whole day. I'll go through it a little bit now. Well, we start off with the neutral zone. I mean, they could have moved the neutral zone 2Ks further on. We get a super narrow section just after 2Ks. Totally unnecessary. I think if they do 10K of neutral zone, they might as well do 12K and get past all that crap. We had a lot of crashes today. Wout van Aert was probably the biggest crash of the day. I think also Peter Sagan came down, but Wout is the most significant in terms of the race leadership, the yellow jersey. Fought back hard, obviously really tough, but you know, I think there was a lot of talk about bikes and things like that, and did he get his proper spare bike or whatever, and I'm pretty sure Jumbo-Visma had that dialed. I mean, particularly today in the, we can call it the Paris-Roubaix stage of the Tour de France, a lot of the teams are riding different tyres, different bikes, you know, wider tyres that you can run, softer pressure, things like that. So, you know, did he have it? For sure. I'm pretty sure they had all that stuff. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking, why did the breakaway stay away today? And I can tell you a few points. What I picked up today from just watching it is they had a good gap. They had 5 experienced guys there in the front. Okay, one thing was Nielsen Paulus hoping to take the yellow jersey today. Then we had Maggie Court, obviously just driving it for them. But you had 5 experienced guys that knew how to ride the race. They weren't fighting for any of the sections. They were saving a lot of energy. Whereas guys in the peloton behind were speeding up, slowing down, speeding up, slowing down. You actually see at one point here in the race, is actually one point in the race, you actually get you actually see the peloton. You actually see Luke Rowe chatting to all the other guys at around 59 kilometers, just telling everyone to calm down. And why is he telling everyone to calm down? Well, they have the space they have position in the road, and they don't need to force the race. They're not interested in winning the bike race today. They're all about protecting the GC riders. So what happens is they gave them an extra minute there. But, you know, telling the guys to slow down, it's just because everyone has positions. No point one guy speeding up, because then everybody has to speed up. So what happened there was they were just like, guys, let's chill out a bit. Everyone's in position. No one can move up from behind because the road is blocked. So that's what happened there. And I mean, that's kind of was the theme of the day. Guys would get in position so they weren't caught out. They could miss the crashes, miss the punctures, enter the section in the first part. But then what happens is, once they're in position, they slow down again. And the breakaway is just constantly going through the day at one speed. So we could even see there at the end when, you know, guys are starting to like creep up on their time, is that the breakaway actually still had something left in their legs. And everybody coming through and nobody missing a turn, and then just all working together to get to the final, which was, you know, is what won them the race today. I think that constant stop-start from the peloton, and then obviously with the crash of, you know, totally unnecessary. Hay bale on the street. Caleb Ewan hits it. A couple guys go down. Not by the rider's fault. Purely organizational. Whoever was standing there kicked that hay bale into the race and knocked out a couple good riders. Now, this is the problem when you have the Tour de France like this. We had Ben O'Connor puncher early, an overall GC favorite, losing 3.5, I think, odd minutes today. His team did a great ride today, getting him luck. Try and not lose as much time as possible. But it's such a shame to see a guy lose his spot today, or his chance to win the Tour de France, or go for a podium. He hasn't lost it, but it's just something that's hampered him, and it's disadvantageous to him today. That's why we say, these kinds of days, are they needed for the Tour de France? Probably not. I think you think of the months of hard work. Yes, we had today having an amazing ride and putting 30-odd seconds into the guys, but really, we only saw a 30-second improvement on some of the guys, and then some other guys had bad luck, like Vingegaard had bad luck. I think Jumbo-Visma had the worst luck today. They had to go back. They had to send 3 or 4 guys back for Vingegaard, then some guys back for Roglic. Then we had Wout van Aert, star of the day, sits up, goes back to help his team, because the goal is to win the Tour de France. They're not going to do it by Wout winning another stage or anything. Of course, Wout, being the professional he is, went back, helped, teammate of the day. And he was holding that gap for such a long time on today. He actually closed it at the end. So I think we've seen a very, very incredible day. I think to see Wout still in the yellow jersey is just a huge reward for him for what he did today. I think you cannot replace this guy in your team. If you've got Wout in your team at this point in cycling, he's a guy that ticks all the boxes. Nice guy, knows what he's doing, and super fun in the peloton as well. One thing that was a bit strange today, which I found was a bit weird, was kind of watching the EF tactics, or, you know, they're two guys in the break, and then you get a part in the race where Bettiol's driving it on the front, and I couldn't understand that. I kind of didn't get why they would be trying to close the gap there, because I thought, you know, the chance of getting a yellow jersey for the team with Neilson Paulus would have been on the cards. But then closing that gap, there was one time they attacked there and kind of brought back 1 minute. Are they going to sit today at the dinner table going, it would have been nice to be in the yellow jersey, we didn't need to do those accelerations? And my answer would be yes. I think didn't need those accelerations. Could have just let the race unfold as it was. Wasn't their responsibility to do anything, but that's what happened. And then what else we got to talk about, guys? Let me think. I wrote down a few notes here. Obviously, today, being today, on it all day. I think out of the GC guys today, hands down, put the ride of the day. Was always in front, even though he never had a lot of teammates around him. Always in front, always out of trouble, always looking after himself, took the responsibility on himself to actually be where he was. And that's, you know, he has the respect in the peloton, sure, but does he has the legs to be up there, most importantly. We saw a couple guys losing some time today. It was expected a couple guys would lose some time. It's unfortunate guys are losing time because, like I say, I think a lot of it was down to bad luck today. I don't think a lot of it was just down to the legs. I think a lot of guys missed time. A lot of guys got hurt by the course today. Got a little bit, you know, got a little bit flicked today. And like I say, you have to be an all-round bike rider to win the Tour de France. But is it necessary to have 11 sectors? Maybe we could have 5, 4, or something like that. But I just think today we just, you know, it would have been nice if guys like Ben O'Connor and they could have, you know, if it was only 4 sectors, we would have maybe lost 30 seconds, 40 seconds. The GC race would have been still tighter. But now we've got like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and this is where it comes a little bit stuck for me, where it's a little bit of a question mark, should these things be in the race. Let's talk about this final sprint from Clarkie. First of all, Paulus goes, and I'm like, Edvald sits up, and I'm like, this is done. If Edvald's sitting up, fastest guy of the group. If Edvald's sitting up now, no one is going to give him a turn. We know he's the fastest guy. So what happens? Let him go. Edvald gets out the corner, does a massive acceleration, tries to gap Clarkie. Clarkie still just grinds his way back. Eventually gets onto Edvald, who's slowing down at about 300 meters to go, 300, 400 meters to go, which you expect then Taco to go straight off him. Taco goes a little bit early. Clarkie still just doesn't give up. Clarkie doesn't give up. That's the point here. So Clarkie doesn't give up. Clarkie sits on the wheel. Clarkie stays. He's actually not on the wheel, but he can sense that Taco is still actually slowing down. So what does he do? He gets in the slip, has one last kick left in him, waits until the absolute death, steps out in the wind, comes out on the left-hand side, does the bike throw, a perfect bike throw. Bike throw wins him the race. Simon Clarke wins his first Tour de France stage victory. Does it for Israel Premier Tech, their first Tour de France stage victory, writes history for the team, and in one of the biggest stages in the Tour de France, one of the most iconic stages in the Tour de France. It couldn't get more exciting, guys. I enjoyed watching this today. I hope you enjoyed my small little post review, and look forward to catching up with you in the next few days. We've got a cup. Tomorrow is a very, very interesting finish. Tomorrow is going to be very, very tricky to navigate. That final last kicker is very, very hard to do. Remember a couple of years ago when Peter Sagan unclipped and then clipped back in and then won the stage? Well, it's that finish. It is super hard. I remember doing it. It's super steep at the bottom. Then you get like a little bit of U-bolt or something. Very, very tricky finish. Very hard and a mad run in. So let's hope everyone stays safe tomorrow. Let's hope we have a good, clean bike race tomorrow. And let's hope that anyone who crashed today is safe and in good spirits for tomorrow. I think Jumbo Visma did a great ride today, just limiting their damage. What did they do? Refocus, just, you know, compose themselves. Great ride from them. And also, I think Ben O'Connor did what he could. So let's see how the next couple of days goes. Let's hope tomorrow's a good race. I think Wout probably wants revenge tomorrow, but keep watching, guys. Let me know what you think. Be lekker. Check you soon.